So, and then when I talked to you a little bit before this, you were saying how you're just, you're just a regular person. and how that's something that people don't expect from you.
Yeah, I have a certain look, but I don't match what my look is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, people probably look at so then I'm curious then, are people surprised when they find out that you're, just kind of a regular person?
Yeah, usually people, because people make assumptions, and
Yeah,
people
course.
look at you and they think one thing, and then when they get to know you, then they realize that you're totally different. But I've always just had regular jobs.
Yeah?
Yep.
So you're not really modeling, no?
I mean, I've done some modeling, but I never did it as like a career.
Okay. So then like what kind of modeling have you done then for the most part?
I was in Gent once.
Oh, okay. I wonder if they're still around.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I know the magazine that I'm in, nobody can ever find.
Really? Well, that'd be a collector's item then, right?
Oh, and I have one.
Oh, nice, nice.
Highest bidder can have it.
Oh, and how long ago was that?
I can't remember the year for sure. I think it was like 2005.
Okay. So just that, and then like a couple of just some print stuff then.
When I lived in Rhode Island, I was in a few like local magazines.
Okay.
And ads for some of the local clubs that were in there. But modeling was more like somebody would notice me and say, "Hey, I'd love to shoot you."
Mm-hmm.
And if it was paid, I would take it. Or
Okay.
if it was like a really cool experience, like a body paint or, like something really different. Like I did pin up once and stuff like that. Like things like that were fun. But I never did it as a job. It was more like just a side thing.
So if somebody approached you, you were like, "Oh yeah, fine, I'll do this." But then, but it never got to the point where you were like, "I want to do this as a career."
I never tried to pursue it in that manner. Because like I said, I've always had a regular job. So
yeah.
Unless something's going to pay me more than what my job is, I can't leave my job, So I have to.
And that makes sense.
I have to stay with what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's, I think that's how a lot of people approach doing modeling but, and for them, depending on what they're doing, it sometimes can take over. But, so like what kind of jobs then have you had? I mean, have you had kind of the same job for the most part, or have you had different jobs throughout your life?
Different jobs. I've been a bartender before, cocktail waitress.
Okay.
Banker.
Interesting.
Worked at a bank. 3 banks, actually.
Okay.
Used to own my own painting company, so I used to paint houses.
Wow. How long did you do that for?
3 years, I think.
Okay.
It was before I moved here.
Okay.
Vegas.
All right.
Yep. So I had not this size boobs, but I mean, I had 3,000s back then, and I was painting businesses, apartment complexes, and houses, interiors.
How did they so when you would meet people would contract you, would they be kind of surprised that?
Well, I mean, I didn't show up looking like this.
Oh, okay. No, I know. I'm just saying. But 3,000s are kind of hard to hide, though.
Well, how I got hired was a place I was working at, like doing some kind of construction-ish type stuff. I was helping put floors and carpets in. One of the guys that was in the building was a contractor, and he needed some painting done. So he assigned me to that. And then that turned into another one, which turned into another one, which turned into another one. And that's how I ended up doing that.
Okay.
And people hired me based on my talent, not on looks.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to imply that.
Oh, no. I know you weren't. But I'm just saying, like, for once, people actually, like, for some reason, the West Coast is totally different than the East Coast as far as how people treat you.
Okay.
Like, over on the East Coast, you're based more on what kind of person you are and what you offer as a person, and your talent as far as, like, if you're working or whatever. You're liked for that. They don't look at this.
Yeah, they're not as... Okay.
They look at what kind of person you are.
Okay.
Out here, everything's all superficial. If you got the right look, it doesn't matter whether you have no experience, you'll get the job.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate reality.
And if you have all the experience in the world and you're not the right look, you won't get the job.
Yeah. And that's got to be frustrating.
Yes, it is.
So, because again, the talent should be what stands out ultimately.
That's why I want to go back east. I can't stand the West Coast anymore.
Yeah, and yeah, I was going to talk to you about that in a little bit, but again, it was just fascinating when you were telling me how you know, that people just, they see you, they make certain conclusions about you. So, I mean, do people try to, like, what do you think people think your life is like when they see you?
It's because I think just looking at me and then, you know, pictures you post online. It's not like the pictures I post are like trying to portray anything about me. It's not like I'm trying to like hide my life or anything. Like, you know, some people, they purposely post on social media to make it look like they're living a certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I only post, I don't post certain personal things because it's private. But I mean, I don't hide it at the same time either. I mean, who wants to see a picture of me sitting at my desk with no makeup on, my hair up, glasses, and doing accounting work? Nobody. So I post things like when I go to concerts or, you know, like stuff like that. So I think people have the idea that like I get backstage to everything and that, you know, I have full hookups and access to anything and everything I want. There was a friend that used to come here to town and she was a big gambler and she used to always do everything out of a limo. Like when she came here, that's what she did. So when we went to concerts or anything, it was always a limo. Meet her at Caesars and take limos. So when you get pictures of me, you know, drinking champagne and we're in limos and stuff, like I think everybody thinks that that is what my life is. Yeah. That it's just nothing but partying, drinking, champagne, limos, you know, backstage. And it's like that couldn't be farther from what my life is really like.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, because you were just telling me that you don't get a lot of free time, right? At least not right now.
No.
And so you're so busy that people might think that you're partying or you're doing all this stuff, and you're just living a regular kind of, you know,
boring regular life.
Like doing something like this is you know, kind of special for you. So,
I get out, and I mean, I still do stuff, but I just don't do it nearly as much as I used to.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, do you still like, do you find that it's less enjoyable now, or is it just? I
think I've reached the point now where I'm tired of doing the same things over and over. Like I don't want to see the same band 50 times.
Yeah. And
go on the same exact cruise 50 times. And you know what I'm saying? I want to experience new things.
New things.
See new places, try new things, you know, that kind of thing. So when opportunities come up where I can do something that's different, new, that's when I usually will take it.
Okay.